Hello, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. Today's episode is how to cope when your friends can spend more money than you. I know, let's face it, money doesn't grow on trees. Or maybe it does considering it's paper, but you know what I mean. So how do you navigate social settings like dinners, vacations, stuff like that when your friends are able to spend more money than you? How do you avoid the potential awkward situations and still save face? We'll take a look at 3 things that you can do to help navigate the waters. Number 1, be open, be honest. They're your friends. So if you've chosen the right people to be your friends, they're going to understand and not ridicule you or make fun of you or belittle you or any of those things. Now, if you have the type of personality where you guys are kind of like jokesters, they may tease you, razz you a little bit, but you know not to take that personally, not to take that to heart. So this isn't for the world to know. This is just for your friends to know. So be open with them. Be honest with them. Let them know that you're on a budget. If it's a temporary thing, then let them know, hey guys, listen, during the summer, I'm not going to be able to spend as much as I normally would. Many of my teacher friends during the summer, because school isn't in session, they don't get a paycheck. Right? So from the middle of June or the end of June until the beginning of September, there's no income coming in. So they have to have budgeted throughout the year to cover the time frame of when they aren't getting a paycheck. There are many of you that may be experiencing something quite similar to that. Perhaps you have a job where you make minimum wage and it's just really hard to compete with your friends that are making much more. If you're only making $30,000 a year, but your friends are making $70, $80, $100,000 a year, you just can't quite keep up with that. If you're the friend who's making more, and you're listening to this, then you have to try your best to understand. You need to be more understanding of your friends because not everyone is in the same place at the same time. Now, many times you went to the same college together. So your friend may be thinking, hey, I'm doing awesome. You know, I have a job in the field that I chose. So if I'm making 60 grand, you're supposed to be making 60 grand. Girl, what happened? And then you have to explain, maybe you came upon hard times. Maybe you just became lazy. Maybe you were downsized, or maybe you're just in between jobs. But whatever it is, if that's your BFF, if that's your best friend, if she's supposed to be like a sister to you, then you need, or your best, your best bud, your bro, explain to them what's going on and let them know, hey, this is the situation and I need you guys to just work with me for a while. There is nothing like being honest with the important people in your life. And the important people in your life, of course, are always going to be your parents, going to be your spouse, going to be your best friends, and going to be your kids, right? And then sometimes we can add a cousin or something like that that's more like a brother or a sister to us. So just make sure that the important people that are in your life, that they know what's going on, okay? Nothing beats honesty. Well, you guys, we need to take a very short break, but we'll be back right after this. We are back. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. Today, we are talking about how to cope when your friends can spend more money than you. Number 2, Number two, be resourceful, okay? There is always an answer. You just have to open your eyes so you can see it. One thing that you can do is use apps. There are so many apps and there are so many discount sites out there that if you're willing to do a little bit of work, a little bit of research, a little bit of, use a little bit of elbow grease there, if you would, or virtual elbow grease, you're able to find solutions to your problems. There are reward programs that will help you when you check in. You may get a free dessert, or you may get 50% off, or something like that. You have loyalty points for many things like, I believe it's Shopkick. You can scan little things at the store. It gives you so many points, and those points turn into dollars. That's also a way that I donate to the American Red Cross. Things like that. There's so many ways that you're able to reward yourself. You can still have a good time with your friends, and you can also give back. So don't think that it's always about sliding that piece of plastic or doling out the cash. There's more than one way to be able to have fun. Another site is, and I know many people have heard of it, is Groupon. They have some awesome discounts that are available. So use them. Use them. It will totally and completely change your world if you're on a budget. Now, many people don't have to use it because they're on a budget. They're just looking for discounts. They just want to be able to stretch that almighty dollar. Now, let me tell you, I work hard for mine, and I want to make sure that if I work hard, I want to be able to play hard, right? I want to be able to enjoy myself. And I want to get the most bang for my buck. Number 2B, and that is use those reloadable store cards. Use those reloadable store cards, like Outback or Applebee's. You have them like for Foot Locker. You also have some of them that are just gift cards where you could do like a $50 or $100 Visa, those types of things. That's what I'm talking about with the reloadable store cards. So every time you get paid, take a little bit of your paycheck. I'm not talking about a large amount like you're trying to pay off a bill, but I mean, $20, right? 10, $20, $5. If you only have $2 that you can take out of your check, take that and load it on the card. Give yourself a time frame. So in about 3 to 6 months, you'll have enough that you can say, my treat. Right? You'll be able to call maybe that one really close friend or that person that has done something really awesome for you, and you want to be able to give back to them. You want to share something with them. You can call them up and you can say, okay, we're going to go do something today, and it's on me. I think your friend, whomever you decide to share it with, is really going to appreciate the fact that you did that. Number three, and that is, it's the little stuff, guys. It's the little stuff. I know that there's a book that says don't sweat the little stuff. Well, this time it's all about the little stuff. When you're honest with your friends and they know that you're on a budget, okay, it helps them understand why you do a lot of the things that you do. So let's say you guys have decided that you're going to do like a potluck or a bring your own dish type of meeting once a month. It's like a girls gathering, guys night in, whatever you want to call it. But you're supposed to bring something. And perhaps they've been wondering, why do you always volunteer to only bring the napkins, the cups, the forks, the plates, and the soda? That's 5 things. If you get it from the dollar store, that's only $5. It's $1 a thing. You have a package of napkins, you have enough cups, you have a container of forks, you have at least what comes in a pack of plates, like 12 plates, and then you can get the little 2-liter, or if you get like the tiki punch, If you get the tiki punch, you have 3 liters worth of drink. Or if you're getting like the mineral water, then you have, enough mineral water. You might have to get 2 or 3 of those depending on how many friends are coming, but you're still contributing. Now, if they didn't realize that you were on a budget, they think you're being cheap. But if you say, I'm on a budget, my student loans kicked in, I'm on a budget, I only work part-time, I'm on a budget, I'm trying to live off of my unemployment, boy, does the little light bulb go on over top of everyone's head, and they're like, oh, why didn't you tell us? Gotcha. And they may even let you off the hook completely. But you have to learn to be honest with people. Let your friends know what's going on. Another way that you can be resourceful is invite the girls over for tea and finger sandwiches instead of for dinner. Tea is less expensive than dinner. Okay, I know that sometimes people say, we'll do breakfast. Well, depending on where you live, depending on where the grocery store is for you, there's a lot that goes into that. But for tea, it's usually midday. The person has already eaten breakfast, so they should be kind of okay, right? So you're having tea or you're having coffee and you're having little finger sandwiches, or you're having scones or cookies or biscuits. You're having something that's just a little nibble, a nice little veggie tray and some wonderful jasmine or some peach tea or something like that. There's ways that you can still treat your friends and let them know that they are so awesome and that you want to be able to interact with them, but your money's just a little funky right now, right? Another idea about how to be resourceful, and this is the last one I'll give you for being resourceful: movie night. So you're having movie night, and let's say you already have HBO and Showtime, or perhaps you have A&E or Lifetime or the Hallmark Channel, right? Well, if you're doing popcorn, and then you get the little popcorn containers, you're doing hot dogs, you're doing sparkling water for a little fizzy, because I'm not a big proponent of drinking soda. You have a bag of little bite-sized assorted candies. You're trying to have the same thing that you would have at the movies, but you're just bringing that into your home, right? It's not about the money. It's about spending really, really great quality time with your friends. It's being able to say, hey, I know you guys have worked as hard as I have, and we want to watch Pitch Perfect 2, right? That movie is hilarious. It's a great time to spend with your friends and just have a great time. Or perhaps you wanted to watch Fast and Furious, right? It doesn't matter. You just want to have a really good time with the people that mean the most to you. I have to take a very short break, but we'll be back right after this. And we are back. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. We are talking about how you can cope when you're not able to keep up with your friends financially. Perhaps you're on a budget and you're trying to stretch that almighty dollar, but you still want your friends to know that you love and care about them. So don't take to heart if you can't keep up with a certain person, each family. Everyone is doing the best they can. If you feel that money is being wasted, however, because you're not that money savvy, talk to one of your friends that you think is. Talk to the person that you feel can give you the best financial advice without including any of the junk. They're just going to give you fact, not opinion. Well, that is it for the day, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester, and thank you so much for joining me Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Time